Something might be broken.
What?
Might be broken.
You broke it? No.
It's broken.
It's fine.
There's audio now. There wasn't audio for the first like 20 seconds. It's there now.
Okay.
I fixed it, son.
Fixed it. It's fine. We're fine. For some reason, we were all like confused. But yeah, this is Rayman, guys. Don't worry. We're still playing the game. We're trying to go fast. I promise. Forget everything you saw on the first screen. We're gonna do these vine boosts. We're gonna see things spawn out of nowhere. Little dots with hair. Green skinned men. We're fine. We're fine. We're fine. Especially now that we're getting our first power up. So this is Batilla the Fairy, our friend. She is our godmother, apparently. According to Origins, she has given us a new power. I mean, she made us. But now she's giving me new power. She's gonna let me punch, finally. She wouldn't let me punch before. I don't know why. Apparently, it's not something you're allowed to do until you walk two screens of a video game. But yeah, the power to punch. Very important. Open up these cages. The cages are important. I need 102 of them to complete the game. Or kill enemies. One or the other. They're both important. There are 6 in each stage, spread across all the screens within one stage. This is the 3rd screen, for example. So you count the Batilla screen. And what are there? Divide 16 by 102 by 6, and you'll get the amount of levels there are. I can't math right now. I just woke up. I promise I'll do this some other day. But yeah, we did not get all of the cages in this stage in particular, because we did not have the power to punch on the 2nd screen of the game. We will be not getting all the cages on 3 out of the 4 forest stages. We will be going back to them when we get a different power-up that makes us go fast. But for now, we'll just get the ones on the way. Jump. Yeah, you can actually jump over him fully, but it's kind of difficult. So, one thing to note in this game about about fists are, when you're in the air, generally your fist will go much further than if you were just walking. Alright, he is the first boss. You just want to like have him be as close to the top middle as possible. And in that case, we want him to do a diagonal up to the top. It's slightly faster. Then for the last hit, you just punch him as high up as you can. He will actually try to dodge you, so we want him to be in the attack animation. Otherwise, he will try to dodge. There we have. Suddenly, he's friendly with us. We're just gonna give him a nice pat on his eyeballs. And he'll let us go across this gap full of water. Rayman can't swim in this game, if you were curious. Water kills people. It's kind of interesting to think about it, though, because in Rayman 2, he can swim with oxygen. But in Rayman 3, he doesn't need any oxygen, and he can do, like, somersaults underwater. These cages here have 2 health each. So, in general, when you want to hit a cage, you'll either charge up, depending on how far away it is, or you will, you'll do a jump punch, which does enough to hit it in one go. So you'll see me jump punching a lot. Standing on the ground and punching also slightly stops you for a short moment. You'll see in this auto scroll here that I try to that I'm moving back and forth. That's because this auto scroll has trigger points that speed up and slow down, and it's dependent on your location. So when a slow trigger comes up, I'll move to the back to minimize maximize the amount of time that I'm or minimize the amount of time that I'll be slow, and I'll maximize the amount of time I go fast with a fast trigger being in the front. Now we have Batilla here. She's going to give us the power to double jump. Nobody saw that. It was the double jump. It was definitely a double jump. And so now we're at the Swamps of Forgetfulness. We're gonna give Tarzan here his clothing that he left very conveniently right above him. He's gonna give us a magic seed. Lets us plant these beautiful little seeds. This game's pretty wacky, I have to admit. We got green skin hunters, we got random dots with hairs, we have living staff notes, we got frickin' stone men. We even got fishbowl men riding floating pans. Yeah, this is another auto scroll. Force is pretty short, but the force is pretty slow. But once we get more power-ups, we're gonna get into a lot more interesting skips. We'll just finagle our way up. Yeah, that was definitely the power to double jump. 100%. Please believe in me. So this is the first really difficult screen in the game. We're going to be doing a slightly more troublesome pattern of punches and inputs here. We have to punch that plum there, and we have to get attacked by the living stone on the side, because those living stones will can have those plums get stuck to their head, and we don't want that. There we go. The screen's done. That's actually a new skip, a relatively new skip that we just did there. It saves us a whole plum swing cycle. So like 2-3 seconds. So plums in this game are pretty finicky. They like to work pretty hard to not do exactly what you want them to do. Any little difference in how you had punched it will dramatically change how it moves. It's hard to be very consistent at it. I'm gonna wait here a short second so I don't hang. I mean double jump. Alright, you got me, guys. The last power-up I got was to hang. It wasn't the double jump. We don't get any double jump in this game. We get the power to punch, we get the power to hang, we get the power to grab rings in this stage. In Allegro Presto we get the power to hover with our hair, and then in the last power up we get will be the power to run. We'll get that at like the 40-minute mark, about maybe a little earlier than that. Don't worry, we're fine. It's gonna get much more interesting. For now, we're gonna be doing the 2 plum skips on the screen. We're gonna be riding on this plum. One thing to note about plums in this game is that there's 2 variable heights. One is when it bounces, it could do a low bounce if you're standing on top of it, and a high bounce if you're not standing on it. So you always wanna, like, the momentum carries much better if it's bouncing high than if it was bouncing low. The decay is a lot different. So now what we have here is a pretty difficult trick. It's called early cycles. We're gonna be walking in such a way that these moving platforms work out a little bit better, so we don't miss any of the cycles. Because this game mostly operates on local cycles, so the camera's pretty important to getting everything to work. It's pretty much a camera manipulation. Jump in certain ways, do full jumps. Standing on myself. Where? Am I a plum? Oh, I'm a plum, you're right. It's my avatar on Discord. So I'm actually going to do another camera manip here. This is going to make this swinging plum coming up jump. Just be right there for me. It's my friend. And now we have just this last plum skip to go on here. Very finicky. Here we go. Come on. Alright, fair enough. You can actually jump through this green platform that this spiky fruit is on, like right here. You can jump right through it by punching that cage and just jumping up. It's slightly faster. But sometimes the plum doesn't move in a particularly helpful manner. Anyway, now we have another auto-scroll. This one's much more straightforward. It's much like the swamp screen. About halfway in, though, it's gonna just go exactly my walking speed anyway. So I wouldn't be any faster or slower with it around. But one thing to note about vine boosting, as you know, vine boosting, if you jump off it, would push you up a little bit further than if you were just walking. And you can actually clip into the right side of the camera, which you can't normally do. If you clip into the right side of the camera, you will die. It's going off camera kills you. So I actually lurched back here on purpose because I'm going to be getting boosted a little bit forward, as you can see. I don't want to get killed by the camera. The camera on the left side, where the spiky fruit is, giant spiky fruit, doesn't like push you away from it. It will kill you if you touch it, regardless. But the front normally walls you off. This is a pretty easy screen here. And yeah, that screen's over. Now we have Mosquito. So say hello to the second Mosquito. This name is actually Mosquito this time, not Bzzit. But the same general rules apply. You would just want him to get towards the top middle. He's got more attacks. He's gonna drop spiky fruits on us. So what we are gonna be trying to do is we just want to walk closer to it so that he drops them earlier, because he moves much faster when he lets go of these. And yeah, there's a difference between having him dart at you low and dart at you high. So if he's darting low, we want to punch him earlier. But if we dart him high, we want to punch a little later. We actually just skip punching him right there to make him change his cycle and save like a second. Ooh, alright. So now he's gonna dart at me from higher up like he does in the regular fight. We're gonna just let him move up a little bit more. And yeah, for the last hit, we are just gonna get him myself. And there you go. That's Mosquito. We're finally out of the forest. Fun fact, if you don't duck there, you will lose control over your character and he'll just stand right next to Mosquito. You can actually just move around while crouching. But now we're getting the power to use our fruit loop. These purple rings here. This is gonna open up a lot of possibilities, because this is the way that I just went through there is not how the game intended me to. There's a thing called speed locking, which happens when you hold up. Generally, if you have more speed than walking speed, you can always use this trick, this holding up only on the directionals trick, to get at much more speeds than the game intended you to. So now we have Bongo. Bongo goes a long way. Basically everything we do is a skip. The game doesn't intend for us to do what we just did. So it intended us to, those tings that you saw on the bottom left there, spawn a cloud and it brings you all the way over there, but we don't need to do that. There's more skips on the next screen. We're going to be skipping a whole ride on a cloud. And there's just about a glitch for every single thing. we're hoping this will be just the best thing ever. Because, yeah, the spike balls coming up are just a suggestion. We don't actually need to ignore them. So we're going to just damage boost on here, get back on the cloud, and just jump through these spikes. Easy enough. It actually is faster to, if you fail that, it's actually faster to kill yourself than come all the way around. Because the way the game intends it to you is to just, you're gonna come over here and you would have jumped over this end sign and it would spawn a cloud. That would take you all the way over there, and it's pretty slow. So now we got our first and only set of 2 zips in the game. It's very much exclusive to... For RTA, it's very much exclusive to these maracas here we got going on. I was gonna do a trick, but I didn't grab the ledge for some reason. That's fine. So we're gonna do this trick again. Just gonna zip into this wall. This one's much more important. It saves a lot more time. It loses a lot more, just as much actually. There we go. And there's our zip. This is pace on a marathon. It's a pretty good pace. So what the speed lock we're going to be doing up here actually saves us a whole revisit into this stage. You can do it without the speed lock, but it takes a really long time, and it was one of the biggest run killers. That thing, I just didn't grab the ledge there. There we go. Easy. But the game intends for you to have that and a power-up that I'm getting on the next stage, Allegro Presto. So we're just going to walk our way to the end of this dark screen now. Not much to it. It's interesting to note that momentum is quite interesting in this game. If you think about Mario, like how you can't really move backwards pretty fast. One thing to note about momentum in this game is when you jump forward while holding a directional, if you try to go backwards, you will have a hard time. I'll walk forward here, but my backwards momentum will be worse. Not so much on the sprite, but you'll see at later points. If I try to move back, sometimes it won't work. So you'll often see me jump from a neutral position. That lets me have both my forward and backward momentum to be just normal speed. Now, that death abuse there takes us back up to this. The game expects me to do a whole section of, like, right above me. There's a whole section above me right now we're not going to be doing because I damage boosted through those 2 spikes. There's actually also an invisible wall above those 2 spikes, so you can't just jump over them either. Yeah, it's like my favorite thing to do, to just punch in between those spikes. But sometimes it doesn't work out. Rayman's got to have its pastime. So I'm actually going to use a wall momentum reset here, because hitting a wall also resets your momentum. That gives us, like, saves us a couple more frames. And a low jump here gets us that cage quickly. You have to punch, like, right before you land on the ground. There's actually 2 buttons for crouching in this game. One is the down button, and the other is the left and right button on your controller. So what I do is I kind of like use the left and right because those move you forward. You can't move forward with just pressing down. And I hold a hard left to deboost backwards on that part earlier. You can do that pretty much anywhere. It's not difficult. You don't have to like do any frame perfect stuff to deboost backwards in a small crevice. But just to note, those red monsters I passed by, the reason why I got hit by the lightning is because its body doesn't give you any iframes and it'll just knock you back. I would have definitely died. Alright, so hardest trick in the game coming up. Let's see if I get a Lego clip. I'm only going to try it once. No. Didn't work. It's fine though. We're going to just move on. There are a lot of clips in this game. We haven't done any yet, but we will be doing it later in Sacks. Quite a few of them, actually. That would have saved us a whole 16 seconds to just land right down there. But it's like pixel perfect, so it's not a good idea to try to go for it more than once. Especially in a marathon. But we're gonna do a much easier clip right now, hopefully. It's gonna work. Alright, we got it. That's fine. So we got the infamous trumpet kit section coming up here. Just jump when you know you want to jump, and it works out pretty fine. See if I get the trumpet cage. Got him. You can get hit by those wrong notes to the right of me. It knocks you down. So now, if I had gotten the Allegro clip, I'd actually be trying my best to avoid all these things. But yeah, you see me jumping in a neutral position there, so I land back on the platform. I'd probably have hung if I didn't. But yeah, I don't know if I've talked about these platforms. These are what are called slippery platforms. They're very slippery. They drastically change momentum to things that are favorable for speedrunning, but they make everything pretty difficult. Especially casually. Ooh, gosh. Alright, I didn't expect to hang on one of those, but that's fine. This section probably killed a million people, but if you just walk it, it's pretty easy. The neutral position also applies to hanging, so I jumped straight up to make sure that I could have both momentum there, so I don't have to hang a second time. We're actually gonna just skip like this whole half of this stage right now. And yep, just had to finagle our way through those wrong notes there. Just gonna knock my way through. I have 1 health. I'm hoping to get enough tings on the next screen so that I don't have to waste time. Here's hoping. But yeah, now we have the power to hover. We need just 1 more power and we'll be going back and revisiting all the stages. But now we skipped 2 of the Bandland Worlds, we're gonna go back to that when we get that final power, along with the revisiting all the other stages. That's coming up. Alright, I'm gonna play it safe on this stone man here. I'm gonna punch him to death. You can jump over him, but it's very precise. Alright, I don't think I have enough tings. But we'll see. Pretty sure that I'll have to wait for the Stone Man. But yeah, say hi to Mr. Stone here. He is the boss of Blue Mountains. For now, he's just kind of chasing us around. We'll be meeting him in Stone Peaks later on. Oh, yeah, I don't have enough health. Unfortunately. That loses us quite a bit of time. Oh, we get another one up here. We're going to be death abusing a lot in this game, especially during the revisits. So it's best to have as much health as we can. Because now we're going to use our speed locking here to do some interesting things. Because it doesn't really matter if it's a ring, or if it's running, or if it's slippery. As long as it gives you speed, you can lock it. So new tech coming up. We're actually going to be crouching before we die on this death abuse here. It saves us a whole death animation, so like half a second. Hopefully you'll see. Yeah, just instantly die. Yeah, coming up is probably the most staple example of speed locking on rings. It's pretty easy. Anyone can do it, even a caveman. It's so easy a caveman can do it. There you go. Cavemen can do that. Yeah, Hard Rocks is mostly cycles. It shouldn't be too bad, but we'll see. There are a couple of difficult skips. One fun fact to note: these anti-tunes will drop on you if you pass them by, but only if you are on the ground. If you're standing in midair, they will not drop down. Same thing goes for like any anti-tune that triggers, that like changes its what it wants to do if you pass by. Now we just have this random auto scroll that just comes and goes. Another random auto scroll that comes and goes. Doesn't even lose time, man. That auto scroll is literally just out there to kill you. So we're gonna do another damage abuse. This will only save 1 second and loses like 5. Let's see. Alright. You have 1 health. Nice. Yes, I am indeed playing on a PlayStation 2. It is a PS1 game, playing on a PS2. We're gonna do another death abuse here, so I'm gonna grab this checkpoint. Dropping down at that cloud just spawned this cage over here that wasn't there normally. This game's full of that stuff. Alright. There we go. Done. Right now we're moving on to Stone Peaks. This is the final stage of Blue Mountains. This is the first stage we're going to get the power to fly. This man, we just gave him his guitar, and he's going to thank us, he's going to give us a super potion. So normally this helicopter power is really slow, but there are a couple frames when you're hovering upwards that he moves pretty fast, so we just speed lock on that specific frame, capture it basically, and it gives us a little more speed than what we were expecting. We're gonna wait this cycle out. It's pretty rude normally. Now there's gonna be like a spike ball that spawns here. Hopefully it doesn't get in my way. Never mind. And there you have it. That's the hovering screen. Now, this screen in particular will also give us the super hover power. This time we have descending water below us, and we have this quicker descending rope tied platform. If we don't cut these ropes with our hair in time, we will get crushed. But since we're ever so good at video games, we don't have to deal with that. This water actually can't hurt you at all. The bottom of the screen can hurt you, much like the left and right side if you fall off the screen of those. So you don't really have to worry about it too much. It's pretty lenient. So another example of a momentum canceling here makes this an easier time to hit that cage. Just hit the wall and you get all your momentum back. Because if I had just walked off of that platform, I wouldn't have much momentum going back to the right. So now we have another auto scroll. Now the water's rising on us. There's no checkpoint in this stage, so we don't really want to die. It would be very unbeneficial. This is probably my favorite stage in the game for a number of reasons. Mostly just because it seems very iconic to me. As a kid, this screen was very interesting. I didn't get far, but now it's got like cool stuff going on, and the best boss in the speedrun. So we have just another auto scroll here. You can just like kind of like ignore that boulder. Even ignore the anytune, you can just hang on the other ledge. If you fail this jump, you would have had to do the whole stage over. That whole screen. So we're just going to do a recoil boost here. If you've noticed, I very often use my my fist to speed myself up while I have this walking. It's not as fast once we get run coming up, but fist boosting is pretty important to getting a lot more speed than normal walking or slippery speed would normally give you. It's like to quickly speed through this part, for example. Yeah, another recoil boost. Actually, just those 4 platforms all normally have 4 meteors, but I recoil boost over 2 of the triggers. That lets us quickly get through that part where you would normally have to do some pretty slow strats. Ooh, alright, I didn't want to take that hit. I'll wait this anti-tune out here. Should be fine. There you have it. That's the end of Mr. Stone Peaks 4. Now we have the boss. This is, say hi again to Mr. Stone. His fight is much slower casually. He's probably the slowest boss casually. But we do a lot of interesting jumps to hit him early. Grab this P. We're gonna wait for him to drop down 1 boulder so we punch him again, and that changes his cycle. Punch it late so that it doesn't, because it has iframes. Punch it late again. Oh, you got me, Arctic. I wasn't ready. Alright, now we have a zigzagging ball. We're gonna jump on it. This is the only trick that you could do. Other versions. Only PlayStation 1 has those rock jumps. Just wait for his last ball to roll out. We got him. Perfect. How you doing, Arctic and Boone? There you go. That's stone. It's actually much easier than it looks. Getting damaged basically clips you onto the stone balls that fall, so it's not like I'm trying to like do some sort of really awkward jump to land on it. But yeah, now we're finally speedrunning, boys. Here's the power to run. Now you can run faster. To run, press O while walking. You don't need to work. Work is for workers. You're not a worker. You're an innovator. Alright, so now we're going to go back to all the stages that we have done. All the stages we did and didn't get all the cages, and we're just going to go back to them. Slip right in there. Boom. Yeah, we're going to just like quickly get all 6 cages on this screen that we totally ignored. What is this slow game? Don't worry. There's a lot of points where we're moving faster than running speed anyway. In the early game. I mean, obviously everything would be fast if we had run, right? Comfy? Nice. Boom. Just gonna do another death abuse. Wham! That's my face right now, IRL. So we're gonna go back into the Bandland stages we didn't even bother doing. They're not worth it until we get run anyway. We already did the super sliding levels, but we have another super sliding level coming up anyway. And Picture City has a couple sliding parts too. Loads. Woo! This game does indeed enjoy its ice physics. Even the last level of the game is pretty much comprised of it. Boom. Where did my powers go? The stage kills me all the time, even though it shouldn't. It's a pretty big meme. It's basically consistent of all local cycles. I should be getting it every single time. But it's all over a death pit, and there's no checkpoint. The last part of the stage is easy. Anyway, there you go. Now we have our last traditional auto-scroll in the stage. There are some more auto-scrolly parts. Not that many at all, but this is an auto-scroll. You have lightning eyes throwing lightning at us. We have beautiful looking snow in the background. I don't know if it'll show on this screen, but there's also a sun in the background. There it is. One of them. I know on the first screen one of them glows. Got some interesting special effects going on with it. I don't know, as a kid I couldn't really beat this stage. For some reason. It's kinda hard. Anyway, there we go. That's the, this is the Gong Heights auto-scroll. We don't need to fall down there for nerds. My PB is a 119.59. I don't know why I put it at 135. I'm sorry, bro. Alright, so now we're doing the IL route. Let's see if I get it. Like, come on. Alright, showing it off. New strats. I haven't discussed speed storage yet, but I'm pretty bad at discussing speed storage. Basically, at the end of the screen, I'm going to store my speed from a slippery platform into a different stage to quickly do strat for Mosquito's Nest. This is PSX. Alright, let's try to get this clip. Yeah, there we go. I try to get another God clip, but it doesn't work that well. All these clips are frame perfect, I mean pixel perfect, so hopefully I can get another pretty quick. I have much more chances on this clip coming up right here. It's like 8 chances to clip. Come on. All these platforms here are friendly. There we go. I didn't even need any of them. Punch this guy. Grab that. Oh, give me the cage, come on. My SRC PB is indeed old. They haven't finished frame counting my new one. Should be second place P. Woo, that's speed storage right there. All that slippery speed that I got just let me run off an event. This speed storage just has a lot of parameters to it. It's kind of difficult to explain. Basically, I'm not gonna do any run jumps until I initiate the speed storage, and it only works in the direction that I was facing towards when I did the speed, which was forward. I don't do it, no. Why would I frame count my own run? What if I was a dirty cheater, man? That was what I just unleashed speed storage for, was to make that gap with speed, man. Plums are considered a sprite. Pretty much anything that you can't hang on that is walk-onable is considered a sprite that you can use speed storage off. But yeah, doing any run jumps beforehand would reset the momentum. Anytime you're in a rolling, it resets momentum. Unless you would just unleash speed storage off of something, then you can chain it. It even works across save files. If you run off a slippery, land on something, and then go into a separate save file, you can use speed storage on that one. Now we have the final one. Yeah, it makes sense. Like, why would I time my own run? I'm not freaking doing it. It's actually a lot of work. It's a lot of work to frame count every individual load. So I'm glad I'm not the one doing it. Ooh. Oh, okay. That's effort, man. Who likes effort these days? Raise your hands. Ah, you got me there, Nesper. You're right, you could clip anytime. Technically, I could clip Degen Dash. Even though I'm running it right now. Ah, I didn't get the vineless. You can get through there without grabbing that vine, but it's kind of hard. You live my life to way. Exactly. That's how you should. You work to not work. That's how working works. All right, now we have eraser planes. I haven't discussed it, but I got level 2 speed fists from the previous stages in the game. If you die, you lose your speed fists, which is helpful or hurtful depending on the situation, but going through return signs will actually reset a lot of things. For example, it'll reset your ting count. If you gained a life, it will reset your life. If you lost some fist boosts, it'll reset your fist boosts when you came in. So I just killed myself, and now I want my level 2 fist back to do a trick. So I'm gonna go through in and out again. The stage is pretty hard, so I don't want to die. So less RNG. Oh my god. Alright. Oh, I could have gotten it. Scary low ceilings. Oh, snap. I got that cycle. Can someone clip that for me? Thank you. But yeah, you notice that I killed myself a lot in the revisits, but I still have my level 2 speed fists. That's because the 2 stages that I did not kill myself on, I got fist boosts on. Which was Pink Plant Woods. And Gong Heights. And then we went through return signs on the other stages, so we just got them back. Of course, that was part of the route normally, so it just kind of works out. I'm going to try to not get hit here, because that makes the next screen much more difficult. Thank you. Alright, that ring could sometimes just not give you the height or the speed you want, and it'll just get hit by the pencil. Alright, so coming up is the 50-50 cage that I've kept these fists for. It's actually practically RNG, whether I get it, since you have to do a full charge boost on an odd frame. So I'm going to do a full charge boost here, and hope it hits. There we go. Because there's as many even frames as odd frames, naturally, so... And unless we were robots, we wouldn't be able to time that. We're certainly not robots. I'm not a robot. Doesn't everybody drink oil? Oh my god! I didn't expect to lose all my momentum there. Oh well, that loses us like a lot of time, but that's fine. I mean, I don't think it matters, right? Alright, just get our... We want to be big for this part, so... We need to get this cage as a big... My big friend, Ramon. The finest carbonated beverages? Well, there are some pretty fine carbonated beverages coming up in Mr. Dark's there. I didn't want to get hit there. That's not good. Loses us a good, like, 12 seconds to have gotten that hit. I won't be able to do the soft lock hit now. But the good news is I won't soft lock. So you should all be happy about that. Yeah, those pencils don't spawn until the camera's moved up a little more. So you don't have to worry about them. Carbonated oil, yeah, man. It's the only kind of oil you should drink. Well, you could also drink sun-bleached oil. I hear that's pretty good in the States. I haven't seen them in New Jersey or nothing, but who knows? It could be a pretty good beverage. So this is the ring pirate here that I'm just gonna like just beat into oblivion. Yo, it's Bobbins. And now we have the bomb pirate here, who I'm also gonna beat into oblivion. Man, Milk doesn't even have his own bot in chat with slots. What a nerd. So we're gonna be taking extra damage hits here, so that we get enough height to hit her on unintended ways. So we're just gonna boom it. Boom it. She's gonna drop another one. We're gonna boom it again. Boom it. Shabloom shablam. We would have been able to do another hit coming up with if we hadn't taken a hit, but it also could potentially soft lock you. So I guess it should be a sign of happiness that I did not, in fact, have full health coming into this, or well, 4 health. It's pretty free, but it's also a thing that could happen, so. Basically on this hit, I would have jumped up right as this third knife fell down and hit her, because the fourth knife has to be darting outwards, but not off screen when I kill Viking Mama here. And if I meet that requirement of darting out but not off screen, I won't softlock. Anyway, now we're going to pencil. We're gonna just kill ourselves after we grab this cage. Bam! Right on this pen, ink pen. Apparently those are pointy and stuff. Just gonna slide on some more speed. Speed slides. Man, I love that trick. I didn't even know about that trick until today. I wonder if it's like new. I have no clue. Anyway, we're gonna. There's actually frame perfect jumps in this game. If you if you land on the same frame as you jump, you can keep a lot of your speed, and the task uses that to full effect. But it's pretty difficult. Like here, could have just done a super frame perfect jump there, and made it all the way over here with that ink slide speed. So yeah, this is the last helicopter section of the game. So I'll be going through here fast as I can. There we go, got pantsless. This is just more speed locking going on here. Oh jeez. Those pencils aren't supposed to spawn if I did that the correct way. I was supposed to bounce on that. I was a little too low, I triggered it. Right. Coming up, another momentum reset on that wall. Quickly go through this. we go. That screen probably killed many people, but I'm pretty good at it. Sorry for my sickliness, I guess. Time to do bouncies. We're gonna do a very low jump on the second one here, and then do an immediate hover, and it'll let us pass through that little gap there, instead of bouncing all the way up. I'm not dead. I'm alive. I'm alive. I'm a living human. Bleeding oil. I had to go towards that P to spawn that sharpener down there. New strat coming up. Let's see if I can get this hover correct. Alright, there we go. This pencil section is very specific. You're supposed to walk off it. And even like the slightest deviation, like if I ran off it, you'd get hit. If I walked a little too slow, I'd get hit. But yeah, now we have our buddy, the Space Mama's Crater. I have Slow Fist, so I don't know if I'm gonna try to do Stormer Skip. This is probably the hardest screen in the game. Hopefully I can get it right. Do it justice. It's the hardest stage in the game to optimize for sure. Now we got the first cage coming up. It's actually pretty precise, but it's not too difficult, so hopefully I don't fail it like I did in the run yesterday. I'm gonna let go right here to grab on this, get a neutral jump so I get this good tether, punch this, and then right when I see my hair on the top yin-yang hit that mouth, I just punch, and it should work every time. It's not pixel perfect for sure, otherwise I'd fail it a lot more often and fall into the pit and lose like 10 seconds. Oh gosh, what am I doing? Alright, let's try it once. Nope. Come on. Slow Fist makes this much harder. Alright, I got it. Way too late, but it did work. Nice! Oh no, I didn't get it. Thought I got it. But I didn't actually get it. Jump over this guy. It's pretty easy. I even do it at 1 health, but one day it's gonna kill me. One day. So if anyone's wondering what, oh well, hold on. We just ran off that ink slab. We're gonna actually do another speed surge that saves us a cycle on one of these sharpeners. Boom! Right there. Oh. Come on. Thank you. So one thing to note about clouds in this game they're pretty, like, the bouncy clouds are pretty janky with how they, like, let you, how much height they give you. But the thing about them is that the more weight you press onto them when you fall on them, the lower they'll drop and the lower your bounce will be. So I actually, as you can see here, I actually hover right before I land on all these clouds to get good height. That makes it very consistent. You also want to jump like right before you get bounced upwards. That gives you more height too. I'm gonna try to actually skip this sharpener cycle here. Except I'm not, because I was too scared. I lied. I was about to do it, and then I didn't. I'm a wuss, man. Frickin' wuss. Yeah, the clouds in this game are vicious killers, man. They literally drop you and disappear from under your feet. What kind of self-serving cloud would that be? Now we have Space Mama. This is probably the hardest boss casually. She's not too difficult speedrun-wise, but she can kind of mess you up. You want her to get knocked back at least once, or she'll walk into you with the 4 hits that we're trying to do. At the beginning here, slightly new tech, not really. We're gonna actually be doing double hits on her per cycle. Here, we'll see. I turn her around. That makes her run out of iframes, and when she shoots out her laser, I will jump up in between them, because otherwise you'll get hit. I punch her from the left side to have an easier time when she drops down from these pan cycles. She'll drop down in the middle as opposed to like right. She would drop down right here, and it would be much more difficult to get another set of double hits on her. For her last set of double hits, I actually don't need to damage boost to turn her around because she shoots out 2 lasers, but it's still it's much more difficult. There's a much smaller time window, but it's also faster than doing a damage boost double hit, because that makes her do the whole turnaround animation. Yeah, we're gonna knock ourselves in, punch, make her turn around, stand under her foot, wait for her to shoot and punch. So now she's gonna do this washing machine cycle. When she shoots out the second laser from the top, that laser, I'll always punch her, because that's when the washing machine runs at iframes. You can see the health bar on the washing machine. It's the dials. Once we get it to red, it's 1 more hit. I missed. This game has a lot of things with iframes. A lot of them sound much like that washing machine when they get hit. That washing machine always sounds like you're hitting something that is currently invincible. The sound they make are very different. Oh, I punched early. Oh no, I didn't, but I missed the double. Jeez. I think I punched too high or something. Anyway, she's down. Now we're gonna move on to the Scops Caves. Caves are pretty hard. They're all ring tricks. Ring tricks are easy to kill yourself on. So here's hoping, cross our fingers, we don't fail anything in particular. Now we got this hard ring strat. Come on. Alright, yes. We got it. Easy peasy. Every time. There's actually a Rayman fan game where clouds are completely green looking. That might be actual chemtrail. It's actually a pretty good fan game, everyone should play it. It doesn't use the same engine. It uses a Game Maker engine, made in Game Maker. But it's a pretty fun fan game. It's called Rayman, The Dark Magician's Reign of Terror. I had fun with it. It's kind of low production with how it looks and stuff, but it's kind of fun. Oh, and the physics are kind of interesting. Alright, so here we are. I want to keep all my health going into another one of the damage boosts I'm about to do later on. If I had moved any much forward beyond that gap you see on the ground, I would actually spawn like a ton of lava boulders that break in like 6 pieces, so I didn't want to do that. It's slower anyway to move forward, of course. I'm going to take a damage boost on this swinging ball here. Grab this ledge, take the hit. There you go. Skips a small little section on the right. That's the last cage. We're just gonna go to the end now. There's actually a new strat coming up where we despawn a platform that we're supposed to stand on in a second. We actually, those moving up and down rings very rarely give you like very nice speed height. Only when they're moving up do they give you like any good height. But yeah, I'm gonna take a hit here, turn around, and then turn back, and this still despawn. Just run right down. Now we're moving on to Ida Joe's. Probably the hardest stage casually. Everyone's probably have their own, who's actually gotten here probably has interesting memories regarding it. But this is the only stage where we're going to be actually doing a task. Ida Joe's lights here, he's pointing out our lights. They're not working. So he wants us to go and light them up and put the plug back in. He's going to give us a firefly to help us light the way in the dark. So now this firefly is going to follow our fist. So when we punch it out, it's going to just show up. But it's a dark screen, but we already know the layout. We're not going to really worry about it. Just going to get through it pretty quickly. So that's only that's the only cage on the screen. There's a couple other sections here, but like right above us right now. Go, ending. It's the only dark screen in the game. Like I said, the light follows your fist, so if you were punching out, it would light you the way. It's kind of an interesting mechanic if you ask me. But we already knew the layout, so it doesn't really matter. We don't have to light the way. This section probably killed 1 million people as a kid. We're gonna just run right through it. Well, if I had like any ability to do anything particularly good whatsoever. Now this is the ring section of Ida Joe's. If you played the PS1 version, this part probably gave you a lot of trouble. But with tether boost, it's not too bad. Here we go. There's a clip right here. Alright, tried it twice, I don't care, I'm gonna get out of here. Now we have we're gonna shoot our fist out, and there's this trigger that you just, like, right where I paused is where the trigger is for the cage that I just punched to the right for. It's a pretty cool strat if you ask me. We're actually gonna do that, a much easier version of that strat on the final screen of this. Right. We're gonna jump right here to avoid, like, 2 spiders spawning, like the most evilest enemies in the game. Evilest enemies, I tell you. They shoot out like these invincible homing missiles. Aw man, Mittens. I'm sorry that you couldn't ruin the marathon. I'm trying my best to not ruin it either. Ooh, what was that? Almost ruined the marathon. So now we have another pseudo-auto scroll. Basically, we're just gonna stand on this alien thing all the way to the end. I like to call the screen the do nothing screen, because there's a lot of points in this where it's actually just better to do nothing than to do something. Like here. Just don't do anything. Just don't do anything here. Just don't jump. Don't jump. Don't do anything here. Don't punch. There's just things falling. You do have to punch there, though. You do have to jump here. But yeah, you could grab these tings, but there's also spikes, so you might not want to grab the tings. And now we have the final screen of Video Joe's. We have successfully punched the plug back into place, and now Joe's lights are on and the aliens are all happy and stuff. So we're gonna get out of here. He's unleashed the balloons. Fun fact, if you don't light those up, those aliens, if you even get to the end of Ida Joe's 4 without punching the lights, like you could in the task setting, the next screen you won't have any, the aliens still won't be up, moving forward. I just died. Damn. No momentum. I don't know where it went, man. Oh man. It's hating me now, guys. The ending is choking. Alright, I'll play it safe. It's doing so good. What happened? Well, this is still a pretty good run. Still went for it because I'm not smart. Alright, so now we're finished with Ida Joe's. This screen probably killed many people because of those fish as a kid, the fish that you see on the bottom left there. And we're gonna go to the second to last stage now. This is the last stage with cages. If you did not get all the cages up until this point and defeat the final boss, defeat the boss of this stage, Mr. Scops here, you will not be able to move on to the last stage. So we're gonna get the last couple of stuff here, and we're gonna move on to the final stage. It's all on one screen. All on one screen. I think I just died. Alright, I'm alive, never mind. I lied. Red platforms are kind of finicky, hoping I get a good cycle here. I didn't, so speed locking it. I wanted it to be moving away from me, not towards me. So this is Mr. Scops. He is our friendly scorpion who wants to kill us. Fun fact, if you punch him, he will wake up earlier. Fun fact, if you punch him when he is trying to move toward, when he's leering over this platform, a couple, he can actually actually punch him away. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to jump here, punch it, and then just hover back onto the platform. Doing neutral jumps off works every time. Pretty easy. Normally, the intended route is to fall down onto that ledge and just wait for him to pass by. He'll just walk to the edge and look down at you, walk back, hit the ground, and that repeats 3 times. So I'm gonna wait back a little bit because you can land on this platform before he lands on the platform, and that can get you knocked back and fall in the lava. Nobody likes falling in lava. That kills people. Ooh. So now we have the easy peasy scorpion boss. He's actually kind of easy, normal. You just punch forward. You could do this with like one hand, with one finger. I think that according to some notes, he was actually meant to be the first boss of the game in an early beta version of this. There's a couple pictures of him in the forest stage. Some texts. World record for this is 1:19:31 with loads. My PB is 1:19:59. Yeah, we broke the sub 120 mark a couple months ago. Like in the beginning of Thanksgiving, we did it. We beat the game. We beat the sub 120. So now we've unlocked all the things. We're gonna go to the final boss. Alright, so now we have the final stage. This is the pan screen. This is the last screen. The second. Oh, okay, please. I don't want to talk. Never mind. Just gotta go fast. Alright, we're fine. Yeah, the time that shows up with the with the world record thing that you got going on shows the loadless times. Because we can do frame count out loads. It's effort, man. So now we have Mr. Dark riding in on behind us. He basically follows our exact movements to a T. And if we make contact with him, he will kill us instantly. So we don't want to touch him. Luckily, we have speed on our side. We know the exact route, and we're not gonna make any dead ends. So we're just gonna keep moving forward, and he won't hit us. Hello. So we're just hitting that wall to reset our momentum to move forward a little bit more. It also spawns that this end sign right here. We have no potato salad. We're gonna do clown skip. Thank you very much. I hate potato salad. Fun fact: potato salad stinks. That clown skip is the last part of the run where we can choke. Well, I guess the ending we're gonna be doing a pretty precise jump. I want to show it off, man. Where we got that without hanging. That's good. Alright, here we go. Now he's forced us to run. Before he was inversing our left and right input, so right was left and left was right. But now he has forced us to only move forward with our run. So I'm going to do 2 jumps to keep our momentum decay and land on that platform. He actually, if he didn't also take away our hang ability, we'd actually hang on one of those ledges on accident. But he takes away all your power-ups, including my power to use my fist. He has grabbed my fist. It's right up there. I can't grab it. So I have to play to his little tune here. It's a Rayman run, man. The true form of Rayman. Rayman Run. There is that Jungle Run and Fiesta Run, and whatever the other one is actually is basically Mario Run. It's pretty cool. And it's also way less expensive than Mario Run. You should buy that instead. So now we're doomed. He's gonna kill us now. So say your prayers. Oh wait, no, never mind. We have two of the Electoons out of like whatever amount was inside those 102 cages have come to save us. Now we have our golden fists. And we're gonna defeat what he is transformed into. He's gonna set up a mix of these bosses here coming on. And we're just gonna quickly get our way through this. Just mash it and it won't shoot out its lasers. Now we have to do frame perfect hits if we want to go fast here. I got a double. And you could do all 8 if you were fast. You're a fast master. There we go. Time. I'm sorry I didn't give much notice to that.
Not 41.
Nice. That's pretty good. It's like almost 2 minutes off world record. My PB.
That scared me a little bit. I wasn't ready for that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I totally forgot.
And then you like screamed it, dude. I was startled.
I'm trying to work Milk so that he's ready for these things.
Ready for something.
This is training. I'm training Milk
That's very sweet.
to be a little less chunky.
Ooh. Nobody likes chunky milk.
Yeah, nobody likes chunky milk. Anyway, yeah, there we go. The end screen, he just says, "Yay, we win," and that's it. So that's the end of the game. Shoutouts to the Funhouse, and shoutouts to Ara here, Imultan. Thanks for inspiring me. The whole Rayman community is pretty cool. You should all go follow them. A+, A+ run. And yeah, thanks for watching.
God bless America.
God bless America. Merry Christmas.